Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 18 of Robbie's Backstage Bants. Today, I am speaking to BGT 2019 semi-finalist
Semi-finalist.
Rob King. I
Hey,
can't get my words out. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm really good. I'm ready to
Fabulous.
get into your knowledge today. I'm going to rack your
My
brains.
knowledge.
Yeah. So, how have you been
Good luck with
coping
that.
with all this time? No theatres, no live performance. What have you been doing?
Well, it's been hard because, like, not only aside from like the performing part of it, like I work in a theatre. I still work at the Lowry in Salford. So,
Amazing.
like, obviously, I've been furloughed from there since March, and I'm furloughed for the foreseeable.
Yeah.
So that's a huge sort of part of my life, spent on that.
Yeah. So the question is, are you going to be working again this December if things go ahead with six?
I don't know. Is the honest answer. I have a casual contract with the Lowry. So basically, when there are shifts, there is work. And there are plenty of people there who are on sort of like hours, like actually have proper contracts that are 20 hours or a full-time job, who will need to be sort of catered for just based on their contracts before us. So
That's a shame. Could have seen you. Well, I mean,
yeah,
we don't even
excuse my
know.
dog is giving me some jip in the corner. So
We don't actually know if that's going to work, if that's going to go ahead. Hopefully it does. I really, really hope it does.
fingers crossed. I mean, the way things are going, I'm cautiously optimistic that we will be in tier two in Great Manchester by the 17th, and they're planning on reopening on the 19th if we do.
Yeah.
So
That's what I meant
I
to
really hope,
the 19th.
yeah, like regardless of whether I'm there or not, I really hope for their sake that they're able to, because they put so much
100%.
hard work in to make sure everything
They've had
is
so much
going well.
disappointment as well this year, the tour cast especially.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Like,
cancelled every time.
oh yeah, like it's ridiculous, and the industry has taken enough of a hit as it is. I think it's about time that we're able to do something outside of London, because London just seems to be getting a free pass at the moment.
Yeah, see them. They can go see things. But when we're stuck
Exactly.
here in tier 3, it's not really
No, can't do a thing in tier 3.
Let's move us down first, and then we can get rolling.
Exactly.
So now we're just going to get on to how your career's been and what you've gone through, what you've had, what you've done. Basically, could have said that
Yeah.
in a lot of less words than I did, but I like to spice up your life. So first, Britain's Got Talent.
Yes.
How did that come about?
Yeah.
What was?
Well, actually, that was sort of part and parcel of working at the Lowry, because they do their auditions there every year, and I've worked there now for, well, it would have been 6 years this year. So for like 3 or 4 years in a row, I sat through and watched auditions come and go, thinking, do I try it? Do I go for it? And then 2 years ago, pretty much like now, I sort of just said, you know what, let's just email them. Let's see what they say. And the next thing I was sending them a recording. And then the next thing I was in front of the judges. It was a very sort of quick process. Yeah.
It's really cool. I mean, you must have watched then many years of auditions before you did yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do apologize. I'm going to go tell my dog off. It's going to like ruin the flow of this interview while she screams at me. I do apologize. So unprofessional.
It's all good.
And we're back.
There we go. But yeah, so did you know what the judges sort of were looking for more in people, or was it just?
Well, I mean, it's hard because I think every year of something like Britain's Got Talent, it's the same with any TV show. They have maybe they sort of want to portray and display a complete sort of range of people's backgrounds and people's talents and what people do. And I think, my story was really unique to me in that, I'm there every day in that theatre, and I watch shows go in and come out, and up until that point, I hadn't ever actually got a chance to perform on the stage there. So I think it was just a lot of sort of happy circumstances that came about, where they just thought, you know what, this because ultimately these shows, they're all about story. You can be the most talented person in the world, but if people can't relate to you, then you're not good TV, are you? So
get him off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So that will be why you went with Britain's Got Talent rather than X Factor, just because it was there for you. It was accessible and
Well, not even that. I actually auditioned for the X Factor
did
when I
you?
was 17, and I went to one of those big like open auditions where everybody turns up, which I
Yeah.
wouldn't recommend anyone to ever do. And I was there for about 11 hours, and I just got a flat no. And I was just like, right, okay, never mind. And I just decided then I would probably never do the X Factor again. And I also just don't think it really suits me, that sort of style of things. Like maybe if we were like 20 years ago, then, and I was at my point now, then maybe I'd want to do something like the X Factor.
Yeah.
But what they're looking for is a pop star, and I know it's very intense and
Yeah.
it's difficult. They were sort of like they do like they research and they find people and they ask people to audition. And they were asking me to audition a few years ago, and I just said no because I
No.
wasn't feeling it. And it took a while to even feel confident enough to try Britain's Got Talent, and I was
Yeah.
very surprised and honoured that it went as far as it did, really, because I
Yeah.
didn't
I
think it
mean,
would.
you smashed that. You got all the way to the semi-finals. How did that feel?
Yeah, amazing. And really it's surprising, you know, the timeline that you see on TV is quite different to the timeline in person. So I
Yeah.
knew that I was in the semi-finals from like March onwards and had to stay silent for 2.5 months.
Oh.
Yeah, apart from to my nearest and dearest. So, you know, and in all that time, you're rehearsing, you're practicing, you're getting things together, you organizing press releases and all the rest of it. And it's super, super exciting. And just up and down to London twice a week rehearsing for it.
Wow.
Choosing songs and all the rest of it, signing contracts and meeting with solicitors and lawyers who are there to sort of protect you in contract signing. It's so like complicated,
Yeah.
but it was so exciting.
Yeah, that's something you don't really see, the complicated side of things. We just see a couple of weeks on TV, but obviously there's a lot
Exactly.
more
And
that
then especially with
that.
Britain's Got Talent, like the live shows just happen generally. I mean, obviously this year, not so much, but in general, those live shows happen in the space of a week. And then it's done. You've got all these weeks of auditions and then bam,
Mad.
live shows for 6 days. And so behind the scenes, there's so much preparation that goes in, and
As
you
well.
know, make sure that people are comfortable and happy with what they're doing. So yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That's really interesting. I love that we don't know this sort of thing. This is why I like to ask these sort of questions. It's the things we don't
So
get
God knows, maybe Simon Cowell's going to come chasing after me, be like, "You're giving away all our secrets."
giving away the secrets. They're supposed to think we're magic. Yeah, no.
Yeah, exactly.
So then obviously you did Cinderella. Now not Cinderella how we all know Cinderella. Well,
No,
well,
Cinderella with an S.
with an S.
Cinderella. Yeah.
Sin. Yeah. So what's that all about? Hmm.
So, so it was a Joseph Purdy production for doing. He does adult pantos, and that's not to say that it's like a ridiculously inappropriate. It's sort of like panto, but the rude is just to the next level.
Yeah.
So,
Just to the
I
next
mean,
notch.
yeah, I mean, you came to see it, so
I did.
you know. You know, and it wasn't like it was like full on smut the whole way through,
No, no.
but you don't have to be afraid of swearing because there shouldn't be anyone in the audience who's under 18. So it's, you know,
Surprisingly, the story still came through. We didn't have
yeah,
that much.
exactly. And
The
it
story
was
came through.
absolutely the traditional story of
I
Cinderella
mean,
that
everyone
sort of,
knows who's going there,
yeah,
that it's gonna be how it's gonna be, and
yeah,
so you don't have to worry about anyone being like, "Oh my god, what did you say?"
no.
Yeah,
And the general consensus is that it was a very fun night out for everybody who came to watch. So
yeah. Well, I think our show ended up delaying you guys a little bit because it was the night when Davina and Hopper. I love how I'm just now calling him by his last name because that's how we're gonna go.
that's what we came by. So
Yeah. Just couldn't couldn't continue. They were just too busy laughing at each other in the middle of the
oh
stage.
god, yeah. There was a lot of that
Yeah.
because Hopper's a little fiend. He loves and it's so good for Button's character just
Yeah.
to get you
100%. I'd like to see him
and
back
and
for the
just
next one.
take you out of the moment. You know, he every night was different,
Yeah.
and every single night there was a different thing in, so you never really knew what to expect.
Now, obviously, do you want to tell everyone who you played, what you did?
Well, obviously, I was Prince Charming. Come
Obviously.
on.
Did we question that for a second? No.
Yeah, no, I was Prince Charming. So yeah, you're pretty archetypal, straight-laced, looking for a girl, doesn't want to marry one of the normal sort of like princesses and duchesses and all the rest that you see around the palace parties. Wants to meet somebody normal.
Yeah, someone normal, and he certainly does.
Yes.
Yeah, and yeah, that's the story. If anyone didn't know what Cinderella is.
Yeah.
Go.
And there's a lot of magic, fairy godmothers, and all the rest of it in between, and foils to plans. But we all know Cinderella by now.
Really, I mean, there is no Panto this year. We might have to struggle to figure that out. What Cinderella is. But now your cast. What a cast! I mean,
yeah,
you had Davina.
Yeah.
You had Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
You had Stacey. You had
everyone.
Oh
God, yeah.
I couldn't even.
It was brilliant. It was such a good cast as well. And what was great is that the audiences were really just on our side the whole way along. And I've worked with Davina so much over the years. She's actually.
Have you?
Yeah, we from the Manchester gay scene. She had her cabaret show at Kiki, which is a bar that she used to own with her husband Paul. And I used to be on her cabaret team on a Sunday. Used to come and do cabaret shows, and then we did All Together Now on BBC One together. And it's funny with me and Davina, everything that we do just seems to move in sort of tandem. The same year did Britain's Got Talent, obviously, she went and absolutely smashed it on UK Drag Race.
Yeah.
And we just all along, it's funny, we just always seem to.
It's like, oh, you again.
Yeah, well, that's what I feel like every time. I'm like, oh, Davina's gonna be like, he is following me.
Super fan.
No, love to pieces. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And obviously that was a full-on tour that you did with Cinderella. So,
God, yeah.
Where did you go? Can you?
God, literally all over the country. We started in Manchester, and then it was like over to Blackpool and Wrexham, Runcorn. We then went. Did we go down south next, or did we go up north? I think we went over to like Newcastle, and then we went up to Aberdeen, and then did like Dundee and it's somewhere else in Scotland. No, we didn't. We did Dundee, and then we did like a 9-hour drive down south.
Wow.
Did a big circular of London. We did a show in London, and we did Sevenoaks, Felixstowe, which is a lovely seaside town. Where else did we go? Sheffield, did an amazing show in Sheffield with huge audience. Liverpool Empire, which was just insane. And then we went back up to Scotland. We did Motherwell and finished off in Carlisle. I mean, I've missed out loads of places in between. Broxbourne, which I didn't even know was a place. Yeah, it was great. Camberley, wherever Camberley is.
Middlesbrough. You did not know Middlesbrough existed? Who knew? We existed?
I knew it. Well, we did Middlesbrough twice.
You did.
Yeah, did 2 separate visits to Middlesbrough. We went away and came back again. And Middlesbrough was a fun time, actually. Middlesbrough was a great crowd.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I'm glad you enjoyed our little area that's locked down in tier 3 like the rest of you, all north.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And then obviously up next is just a little Christmas concert that might be happening. That
might be happening that you may have put together.
That thing?
Yeah. With West End performers and all the rest of it, which is
really exciting.
Which is amazing, by the way. Well done.
As of today, there is 5 days to go until the concert.
Yeah.
Need to get some more tickets sold, so people should buy their tickets right now.
They should buy their tickets, and it's for a really good cause as well, supporting artists who are out of work.
100%.
And which we pretty much all are at the moment. So
There's only a very select few that aren't.
Yes, and they are very lucky, and I know that they're very lucky.
Oh yeah, I can't imagine they would take that for granted at all.
Oh God, no. I think everybody knows the situation at the moment, and if you're one of those lucky few, then no one's going to take that for granted.
And good for you. Everyone's behind them as well. It's not like everyone's going, "Oh, I wish I was them." It's we all support them, which is great. So next, I think we should slide on into the fans' questions.
Oh God, fans questions. Interesting.
The first question is from Lynn, and Lynn asked, "What inspired you to go on Britain's Got Talent?"
Okay. Hi, Lynn. That's how we do things. Hi, Lynn. It was just, I'd thought about it for a long time, and for years and years thought, do I try and go for it? And then just 1 year, well, 2 years ago, it just felt like it was the right time and the right place. And it was, everything slotted into place. I'd have loved to, of course, got to the final, but like, I just to go on that stage and have that moment where you finish singing and all 4 judges have stood up, you got an auditorium, which I'm in every day, of people stood up. So I'd thought about it for a long time, but it felt like the right time. So yeah.
Amazing. That, yeah, I can imagine how that felt, being on the other side of the stage for once.
It was just, it was insane. Like normally I'd be like down by the door with a tray of ice creams, like literally.
I mean, still both very good jobs. I mean, ice cream.
Yeah. Selling ice cream, singing on the stage.
Free ice cream?
Not very often, no.
Oh.
Sometimes if it was warm and they'd gone a bit melty and weren't going to put back in the freezer, then I'd be like,
Fair enough.
you'd get, don't tell the Lowry.
And the next question is from Trevor, and Trevor asked, if you forget a line on stage, what do you do? I'm assuming this applies to Cinderella.
Well, now with Cinderella, if you forgot a line, it's quite easy to just, and especially because it was an adult panto and everything, it was just literally a laugh a minute. It was just constant the whole way through. If you got a line, it just happened and you just carried on and even made a thing. If you're doing panto, you can make a thing of the fact that you forgot a line. But when I'm singing and I do forget lines, it happens actually. I did my own show at the Lowry last year, and I got off stage from the first half and I was like, I have forgotten so many lines, but you just sing something else and nobody would know.
No.
It's if you sing something else confidently, like be wrong with confidence, and then people would be like, oh, was that deliberate?
Oh, he changed the song.
Yeah, like, oh, that's not the lyrics I remember, but he must be right.
we paid to come see this, so he must be right.
Must be right. Yeah,
100%. Just blag your way through life. It's fine.
Exactly, and that's just it with like forgetting lines or forgetting words and stuff. You just have to carry on, because if you are mid song and then you stop singing, you're like, just sing something else.
If you have to resort to da da da.
Yeah. Or just take the mick out of yourself. It's easy enough.
It's the only way. Yeah. The next question is from Evie, and Evie has asked, are you excited for the Stagey Christmas concert?
So excited. I've put together a nice little performance, which I'm very happy with. I'm dead excited to see everybody else as well and see what everyone's brought to the table. I think it's gonna be really nice. It's gonna be dead festive.
Yes.
So yeah.
There is a trailer.
And I love Christmas. So
there will be a trailer when I finish putting the trailer together.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I know. I'm magic like that. I'm putting a little trailer together. There's a performance from me in there as well. Just I thought, we'll bulk it out, get it even longer. So you've all got that to look forward to as well. And question number 4 is from Emily, who asks, what is it like working with Davina? Many times.
Many times. Davina is a dream to work with because she is super professional and she is super dedicated and she's so much fun.
Yeah.
And what was amazing is that what anyone else would not have seen during the scenes where she wasn't on stage, she was backstage like sewing dresses, styling wigs, constantly, like just sat there like, I'm just going to sew this onto the bottom of this dress. I need to get this costume together. So I'm going to sew this on. Oh, and I'm going to steam this wig. Just doesn't stop. Just doesn't stop working constantly. I think off the top of my head, if I remember rightly, she was writing her album at the time. Her album. So she was writing it whilst we were on tour. So like she was constantly like jotting things down, always booking ahead. She's just super, super professional. She hates letting anybody down.
Wow.
And she's just so much fun. Davina is exactly in person as what everybody saw on Drag Race.
Yeah.
Exactly in person. Yeah, she's fab. Big fan.
Me too. I think everyone is. Literally everyone. And the last fans question is from Jamie, and Jamie has asked, have you kept in touch with anyone from Cinderella?
I absolutely have. Yes. I actually got really close with Jamie. I got really close with Stacey. A few of the dancers as well, Ross, Chris, and Steph, and Julie, my Cinderella, obviously. So, we're all in touch, really. We're all still in group chats and messages from time to time,
Oh,
see how people are doing. So,
yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
And the final thing for today, we've got a nice little quiz on how well you know Cinderella. Now,
Oh, okay.
these are more questions. There's some like questions about your castmates and things rather than how well you know Cinderella. Because, I didn't want to do any finish the lines because that could get.
Really, really inappropriate.
Yeah. Family show, guys.
Yeah, and Cinderella definitely was not that.
No. So the first question today is: one of your castmates was the inspiration for a popular musical. Who was it, and what musical is it?
However much I'd love it to be me, that is, of course, the iconic Jamie Campbell, and everybody's talking about Jamie.
Yes. How was that? Did he ever mention anything about the show to you guys, or was it just?
Well, at the time, the film was being sorted and put together, and it was still quite under wraps. Like,
The film.
yeah. Well, yeah, and so like he's just dead. He's super humble. He's super sweet, and he's just a lot of fun. Like, he really is so much fun. Yeah, a really, really wonderful person.
Absolutely. Your question number 2 is: what was Davina's opening number in the show?
It's raining men, obviously.
Yeah.
And that was amazing with the umbrellas and
Yes.
the lifts.
Yeah, the lift and
Yeah.
and the little finishing note she went with.
Yes.
Love that. Question number 3 is: which other drag race UK queen joined you in Liverpool?
Oh, Cheryl Hole.
Yeah, you smashing
Yeah,
this quiz. I mean, I think it's kind of easy.
it is kind of easy. And Cheryl, again, I'd never met Cheryl before, but when you meet somebody and you feel like you've actually known them for a long time,
Yeah,
like, I was just instantly comfortable around her. Yeah, absolutely fabulous. And she did a great job with it, because there was a big lip sync in the middle of the Liverpool show,
yeah.
like celebrity lip sync. And I'm not going to say who was there just in case there's a question on it. But
There
she
is.
just
I
like the whole
can
thing.
confirm there is not.
Okay, well, like Nikki Graham and Scotty T, and it was a lot of fun, and she was a great like little insert into that show.
Absolutely. Now, question number 4. This could be the hardest one,
Yeah.
but
Ooh.
the finale medley that you had was
Yes.
very similar to one from another popular show. What,
Very similar or exactly the same.
well, what was
Priscilla,
that?
Queen of the Desert.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, I know this. What do I know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was the Priscilla medley, but it was
it
perfect.
was.
It was a great ending to the show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. And the final question for today is: what special little thing happened with the show early lockdown?
Yeah, I have to think then. Well, I'm hoping that you're thinking about the same thing I am, but the recording from the Liverpool Empire went online, and you could buy tickets to watch it. So that was
Yeah,
really nice to watch it and like
it was.
relive that memory, because it was so amazing around the country. But the Liverpool Empire, I think, was the first time like I stood on that stage and the audience were like cheering and applauding. I went, oh my god, I need to be doing this my entire life. So,
Yeah. So would
yeah.
you like to go into any musicals now? Is that is that which way you want to go with things, or?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's one of those things where it's difficult. I've always just been a singer, and my background in acting and dance is very, very limited. So
Yeah.
recently, I started a part-time musical theatre course,
Amazing.
um, to try and get, and that's been happening over the last sort of 12 weeks or so. So that's been a nice use of
Really
time,
good.
whilst the industry is on its back, obviously, but it just feels like a nice time to sort of like get my skills back up and
Yeah,
tune
absolutely.
into what I want to do. So
No, definitely. That's really great. So the last little things I want to do is firstly, I want to remind everyone that as much as we're having a bit of fun, we're trying to raise a little bit of money for acting for others too, because again, that's also a fantastic cause. So if you could just, anyone at all who's enjoyed this, head down in the description. There will be a link to donate because it's really helping the industry at the moment who are on the back, as we've said many a time. And obviously, also keep an eye on my social medias to find out who's up next and grab your tickets to the Christmas concert. But apart from that, thanks for
Yeah.
coming in, Rob. It's been such a pleasure speaking to you and getting to know
Thank you so
all about
much.
everything you've done.
Oh, it's my absolute pleasure, and I'm really, really looking forward to the concert.
100%, me too. I can't wait. But thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you in the next one.